Hello, I am Imani, and today I'm going to talk about how I accomplished one of my biggest goals, which was creating and performing an 85 one woman show performance called Beyond the Roots. The reason why this goal was definitely so important to me is because number one, it would literally determine whether I would graduate college or not. Number two, it was 85 minutes worth of words. I was literally that person that could not remember the history facts for a test. And so when it was like 85-minute performance, I was like, who's going to do this? Who's going to accomplish this? But I literally knocked it out of the park, not to, toot my horn, but tooting my horn. And then also, the reason why the show was so important is because I also shared the stories of my grandmothers, I shared the stories of my parents, and I also shared, my own personal story within this entire performance. So it was just a very big goal for me, but also very important. And the way that I accomplished this goal was following the SMART Goals blueprint. And so you may say, I've heard of SMART goals, it doesn't really work for me, but I have some additions that I'm going to share with you that literally is going to be able to change the way that you write your goals and also accomplish them. So first things first is the S of SMART goals. And so I want your goal to be simple and specific. So many times when we write down a goal, you may say, I want to do this, and I want to do that, and I want to do this, and I want to do that, and I want you to stop, and I want you to keep it simple, and I want you to keep it specific. The reason why it needs to be specific, right, is because there is a major difference between saying, I want more money. Let's say you want more money, right, and you make $5 more. That's making more money, is it not? And that's a really big difference between saying, I want more money and saying, I want $100,000 more, right? So being specific allows you to really know what you're going after. You also need to make sure that your goal is measurable. Having numbers attached to your goal allows you to look at your progress. Are you moving in the direction where you are going to reach your goal or you're not? You also want to make sure that your goal is meaningful to you. So many times, especially in our society, we live our lives for other people. And I really want you to start living your life for yourself and asking yourself, what do I want? And so when creating your goals, I don't want you to make goals for your parents. Don't make goals for your teacher. Don't make goals for what you may think sounds good, society wise. Because even though it's commendable that you care so much about these people, that you want to accomplish goals, kind of like in their honor, it's so unlikely that you're actually going to accomplish the goal because you don't care about it. So when you're writing your goals, it's okay to write a big goal. It's okay to feel nervous about this goal or to feel scared because that means that you care. And caring allows you to wake up and say, this is something that I'm going to accomplish. This is something that I'm going to get done. You also want to make sure that your goal is achievable, and you want to make sure you're acting as if it's already happening for you. That piece for me was so important in being able to hit that stage and to do it in excellence and do it to my standards, and making sure that I feel like I am doing justice for the people and stories that I'm sharing. And so for me, it was really about seeing myself accomplishing this goal. So standing on the stage and hearing the outro music and seeing the stage lights go down, that's what really allowed me to, when I was in that moment and it finally happened, I was like, wow, this is deja vu, because I had already seen it before. It had already manifested itself for me, and I did that, right? So I want you to act as if the goal is already happening. I want you to see the goal happening. I want you to hear what it's going to sound like when that goal actually happens. Is it you hearing music like I did when I was like, ooh, I'm done. I hear the music, the outro music is happening. Or is it you hearing a good job, you did so well, from your parents or from a friend or somebody in your support group, right? What is it going to feel like? How are you going to feel inside? For me, I just felt so warm and I felt so proud. And I was like, I really just did that. I also felt some relief because after 85 minutes, I was like, wow, I'm done. I also wanted a drink of water, okay, because I was thirsty. My mouth was like, you've done a lot of talking. So think about what you're going to see, how you're going to feel, and what you're going to hear when you finally accomplish that goal. You also want to make sure that your goal is realistic. I love to make big goals that I know that I'm going to challenge myself, right? It's going to make me scared. It's going to make me nervous. Those goals are great. But the problem comes in when you decide that you want to make a goal that's unrealistic, right? So let's say you're like, I want to make $1 million more this year. Love the idea, right? But that's very hard to do if you've never made six figures. So, making a goal that best fits you and what you know that you can possibly accomplish and what a challenge may look like for you. And just making sure that you're not comparing yourself to other people. And another reason why that's also important is because let's say you make a goal and it's unrealistic, it's something that you can't accomplish, but you've written it down and you don't make the goal. In the back of your mind, you're like, I'm a person that doesn't accomplish goals. Goal setting doesn't work for me. And it's not that it doesn't work for you, it's just that you didn't create the right goal for yourself. So when you're creating your goals, just make sure that they're based off what you know that you can accomplish. Make sure you add that challenge in there, but just make sure that they're also realistic too. You also want to make sure that your goal is timely. This is very important because it allows you to create a timeline around your goal. For me, I knew that May 4th, I was going to be hitting that stage. And I wanted to make sure that I was hitting the stage in a way of excellence and making sure that I had everything together. So about 3 months out, I got very serious about remembering my lines. And then about a month out from the actual May 4th date, I was like, okay, girl, you need to be practicing like every day because before you know it, you're going to have to hit the stage. And another thing around making a timely goal, I also ask that you get yourself an accountability partner. For me, accountability looked like so many different things because I had told, of course, my family that I was doing the show. And so people were flying in or driving many hours to come and see me. I also had news outlets that had told other people about the show, and I also partnered with an organization that were getting participants to come see the show. So for 4 nights, I had a packed house of people coming to see the show. And so what that did for me was that it kept me on my toes. It kept me on my target, especially because I knew there were so many people that were looking forward to the work that I was doing. And so if you are doing something big and on that scale, you already kind of have your accountability partners. But if you're doing something that's a little bit smaller and you want to keep it close to your heart, maybe telling a trusted friend will definitely be helpful because it'll allow you to have somebody just to make sure that you checking in with you and helping you to reach your goals. So that's just an added tidbit. But that's literally what you need to do for SMART goals. It's literally what I did to, like I said, reach one of the biggest goals in my life, one of the biggest accomplishments to this day that I have done. So right after this video is over, go ahead and get that pen and paper and write down your SMART goal for the next 3 months. Remember, it needs to be specific. It needs to be measurable and meaningful to you. It needs to be achievable, and you need to act as if you already have it. You need to make sure that it's realistic and make sure that it's timely. Add that date to it so that you're able to just know what you're working towards. Like, what is this date? What am I doing? And once you go ahead and write down your goal, drop it in the comments. I would love to keep you accountable. I would love for you to come back and talk about your goals and talk about if this blueprint worked for you. This is definitely the blueprint that I use for my goals every single time because it works, right? And so I really hope that you enjoyed this video. And if you did, go ahead, like, comment, and share. And, definitely follow me on social media at Imani Adia. I am ANIADIA on all platforms. And until next time, go be great and go write down those goals. Okay, bye.